When people think of buying something at a good price, Amazon is usually the first place they check. And the same goes for e-bikes too. If you search for budget options there, you'll see tons of them priced between $300 and $400. For many, this sounds like a jackpot. An electric bike for the price of a smartphone. But wait, are these cheap e-bikes actually good? Or is it one of those offers that seem nice but end up being a waste of money? That's what we're going to talk about today. With so many options and big promises, it's time we tell the truth about Amazon's budget e-bikes. And if you're seriously thinking about buying one from there, make sure to stay till the end so you know what you're getting into. So, these $300-400 e-bikes on Amazon might look like an amazing bargain, but they do come with some serious problems. First off, the build quality is usually the biggest letdown. To keep the price low, many of these bikes are made using cheaper materials. The frame is often heavy steel instead of lighter and stronger alloys. Parts like brakes, gears, and tires are entry-level stuff, not made for heavy use. For example, instead of having hydraulic disc brakes, most of these bikes come with basic cable brakes that don't perform as well and wear out faster. If we talk about another common weak spot of those bikes, that will be the battery. Unfortunately, you often get small, low-capacity batteries on those budget models. They are around 360 watt-hours or even less. The product listings might boldly claim a range of 20 to 40 miles, but in real life, you'll probably get just 10 to 15 miles, especially if you're a heavier rider or if your route has hills. Worse, if you ever need to replace the battery, it can cost you around $400, sometimes more than what you paid for the whole bike. And if the brand selling the bike disappears, which happens quite a lot with these unknown brands, finding a compatible replacement battery can become a nightmare. The motors on these budget e-bikes are also nothing special. Most of them come with 250 watt to 500 watt hub motors, which sound okay on paper but struggles when they face steep roads or extra weight. Many buyers have shared how their cheap e-bikes simply die when going up even small hills. Another thing is that these motors usually use cadence sensors instead of torque sensors. This means the pedal assist feels jerky and unnatural because it simply kicks in based on how fast you're pedaling, not how much effort you're putting in. So, the overall ride experience feels a bit off and less smooth. Safety is another big concern. When you're buying such a cheap e-bike, you have to remember that the quality of crucial parts like brakes and tires isn't up to the mark. This raises serious safety risks, especially when riding at higher speeds or on tricky roads. Another problem is that many of these bikes come partially assembled, and if they're not set up properly, it can lead to dangerous situations. On top of that, many of these brands don't even have proper safety certifications, and if something goes wrong, you're mostly on your own because their customer support is either terrible or non-existent. Another headache with these bikes can be the maintenance. Since the parts are low quality, things like chains, brakes, and shifters wear out quickly. And because many of these brands are not well known, finding spare parts becomes a hassle. Some users even said they had to spend more money on fixing and maintaining their e-bike than what they paid for the bike itself. In some cases, the bike had so many problems that it just wasn't worth repairing anymore. Also, don't be fooled by the low price tag. Often, there are hidden costs that buyers don't think about at first. Some sellers charge as much as $200 just for shipping. And if you need help with assembly, that's another extra cost. If you decide to assemble it yourself and don't do it correctly, it can lead to safety risks or damage. So, that cheap $300 e-bike can quietly turn into a $500 or $600 headache. But let's not be completely negative here. For the right person, these budget e-bikes can actually serve a purpose. The biggest plus point, of course, is affordability. For people who simply can't stretch their budget to $1,000 or more, these e-bikes provide a way to experience electric biking without breaking the bank. Brands like Ebikes or Cheer offer basic models that can be good enough for light and casual use. For basic commuting on flat roads or just casual weekend rides, these e-bikes can get the job done. Some of these models even come with useful features like LED lights, front suspension for a smoother ride, and Shimano gears, which are decent for the price. They're not going to blow your mind with performance, but for short trips or easy rides, they're good enough. Another advantage of these bikes is portability. A lot of budget e-bikes comes with foldable and compact frames. This makes them great for people who live in small apartments or for those who combine cycling with public transport. Even with all their flaws, these e-bikes still promote outdoor activity and reduce dependence on cars. You'll find many city riders hopping on a $400 e-bike, and they have been using it as their primary transport for years. Sure, it wasn't perfect, but it did the job and saved them money on fuel and public transport, so if your expectations are realistic, you can actually get value out of these bikes. Also, buying through Amazon has its perks. You get the ease of online shopping, quick delivery, and plenty of user reviews to read through before making a decision. Some listings even offer assembly services, which takes away the headache of setting up the bike yourself. Now, the most important question: who should actually consider buying these Amazon budget e-bikes? Well, if you're a casual rider who plans to ride occasionally, maybe once or twice a month, or just use the bike for very short rides around the neighborhood, these budget models could be a good fit. They're also a nice option for people who are completely new to e-bikes and don't want to spend a fortune just to try it out. For example, older riders or students looking for a cheap, fun ride might find these bikes handy. And if you live in a small apartment and need a foldable, space-saving bike, some of these models can work out fine. But on the flip side, certain people should definitely stay away from these cheap Amazon e-bikes. If you're planning to use an e-bike daily for commuting long distances, or if your route has a lot of hills, these bikes will disappoint you with their lack of power and reliability. Some riders even plan to carry extra weight to their destination pretty often. As these bikes aren't built to handle more than 250 to 300 pounds safely, they will surely face some problems here. Plus, if you're one of those who want speed, performance, and off-road capabilities in your bike, you'd better look elsewhere because these budget models simply can't deliver that. And lastly, if you're someone who expects the bike to last for years with minimal maintenance, you'll be let down by the constant wear and short lifespan. So, to wrap it all up, Amazon's $300 e-bikes are really a hit-or-miss deal. On the good side, they let people try out an e-bike without spending a lot of money. For light use, like short rides or casual fun, they can do the job. But the bad side is hard to ignore. The cheap build, weak battery, and safety problems make them a risky choice if you want something strong and reliable for daily use. If you still want to buy from Amazon, it's better to choose slightly better-known brands like Ebikes or Ancheer, and always check what real buyers are saying in the reviews. But honestly, if you can save up a bit more and go for a $700 to $1,000 e-bike, like the Lectric XP Lite 2.0, you'll get a much safer and better experience. In the end, these cheap e-bikes are good as a starting point, not something you should fully depend on. So, buy carefully and don't expect too much.